Hey everyone, Dan here with Dano's Trains. I got that light behind me there. It's going to give me a hard time. Hopefully it doesn't affect the video any. Just a little update here for today. Sunday. I don't know what time it is. 5:30. Took a trip out to the Home Depot store. Trying to speak English. And as my last posting noted, that I pick up 3 sheets of pink insulation. I picked up 1 sheet of OSB, and I spent the latter half of the afternoon now connecting 27 feet of wall diorama space. Boom, main line all the way down. She's done. Just going to give you a slide tour of what I've done here today. I've yet to screw this down. I'll probably sink a couple of screws in it after the video, just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. But check it out. I mean, it feels so different. It feels so different to have that connected, you know? Like before I had well, you'll see it. It's down there, right there. That big gap there is 6.5 feet. And it's butted up tight to the last module down there where the golf course is. It feels just so whole to know that this entire layout is now all attached. I'm only missing 1 section of foam right here, crossing over to this module. I don't know if you're going to see that. You know it. Right there. That's 24 inches, 26 inches wide. Yeah, right here. This is it. So I'm going to take it for a little tour here. Trying to get all these little wood chips here. I had the saw up on the table here so I can cut. I can't bend down because I got artificial knees. Yeah, I had them replaced in 18 and 19. So that in itself produces all kinds of problems for bending and turning. If I sit on the floor, I literally got to lift myself up with my arms. You're not allowed to roll over and get on your knees. That's a big no-no. Or squatting even. So this has taken me quite the effort to put together. Where if I was in half decent shape, it would have been done a long time ago. I would have just moved, and I could twist. If I had to go underneath the counter, which means I got to put my butt on the floor first, crawl under like a little baby, preset the heights with a wooden plate, go underneath and hope I have it aligned, put a couple of screws in, crawl back up, get up, you know, stuff you do when you have replacement knees. Anyway, so much for my knees. I'm feeling really good right now to know that this entire layout is all connected. And earlier this afternoon, I posted a video showing, I put the pink insulation on this too, the 8x4 2 pieces. Sorry about that. Everything is just on top of everything. I got to crawl over one thing to get to another, so that's why I walk out of the video. I don't mean to do it on purpose. I'm sure you won't miss me. So, sit back in your chair, hang in there, and we are, yeah, you never guess why I picked those up. Yes, that's right, Swiss Chalet. I took them out of the little box there. I took the green one going in and I took a red one coming out. I thought it would look good on the module, but I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, so let's go for a walk. So the first piece you're on right now is 8 feet long. We're going to zip along here. Try not to get motion sickness. This piece here is 4 feet long. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that, look at that. Still trying to remove some of my stuff off the table here. I got lots of stuff. And it's all over the place. So this is the section here. I just added this here. I picked up, what did I pick up? Two pieces of 1x4x8, and I decided to just frame it up here and just stick it in here. The module on this side and the module on that side is actually holding this module in place. There's no legs on it. Got to know when to draw the line. God, there's a lot of crap on here. Am I allowed to say crap? Sorry if it offends you. Okay. I'm going to move you a little further down. We're going to end up stopping at the golf course because they don't want us dragging anything over the greens. They get really upset when you drag stuff over the greens. Okay, a little too close, sorry, right there. Okay, now I'll explain what's going on. As I was bringing you down, this here is the main line, which goes back all the way back across through the mountain and back around again. And all the services are going to be operating off the main line. So earlier I showed you I picked up 4 number 6 Kato switches, 2 left and 2 right, just like this little baby right here. I got 3 of them down there. This is a dead line here. Now, I may just extend that or even connect it up somewhere else or a crossover. Oh, I'd have to go back there to get it. I don't know if I want to do that. I think it's called 60-degree crossover. It's like an X. And it'd be perfect to maybe jump this from here to a switch over here, just so the train can run in an opposite direction. Yeah. But this is the golf course here. I'm going to bring you a little closer. Show and tell. There's the mansion over here. This is basically my first completed diorama scene on this module. Move stuff, move stuff, move stuff. Yeah, move stuff. There we go. Yeah, so this little baby here, I'm gonna move you a bit. Oh, I was gonna lose you there, yeah. So this little baby here was my first completely finished module on this entire layout. I like it. I think it looks good. I walk by here and I almost feel like jumping in one of those cars, go and park, get out and walk over to the green and play golf. So I'm going to bring you a little closer. Okay, so the green starts here. I'll probably have, back. There we go, sorry. Okay, so over here, I'll probably just loop it out and end that green right here. Just a little half circle, and that'll be it. So it'll be in here. It goes across here. Now, I originally put 14 flags down. I added another 3 in the background over here. Right, I don't know if you can see them or not. Right here, there's 3 more. I've misplaced one of the flags. I'm going to make it an 18-hole golf course. Yeah. So the mansion is here. It has a purpose. It's servicing a golf course. I came up with that idea at about 2 o'clock in the morning, came down here and built the golf course. Yeah, 2 a.m. in the morning. When I lie down and I start thinking and something's not right, I have to fix it or I won't sleep. I know that's craziness, right? So I still have to put the green, the brown spots in there for the, I don't know what you call them, you know, on the green. 4 more spots back there, right in that area, in that dark shaded area right here. Now this over here in the back is flock. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it from there. No. No. Okay, so I'm giving you a personal tour. Appreciate that. I don't mind doing it. So here's a flag here. If you can't see it, there's a flag there and a flag here. I'll probably have one more flag way back here in the corner. Then I'm going to get a piece of paper and cut out a green shape and dropped 4 different new shapes on here. What I do is I take a paper, cut a hole in it the shape I want, and then I take this stuff here. My wife gave me this. She's a crafty. She hasn't used it in a while, so she said, "Hey Dan, do you want this?" And I looked at it and I go, what's this? You know, it's just like hair spray, right? And as I look at it, it says Fast Grab Sticky Spray. It works. That's how I put this green down. And it hasn't moved. Look. Yeah. So I take this, I take the stencil, I spray, then I get my flock, I drop it on. In this case, I'm using brown flock for the greens. And pile a bunch of it on there, tap it down so there'll be a lot of stick in there. Then after a couple hours, or if I were to do it now, I would come back tomorrow and take a vacuum and I would vacuum it up and I would have 4 more new greens. So I don't know what prompted me to do this. I had no idea. I got 3 lines, well 2 lines going through here. This originally, when I was fooling around, was just going to be a bypass line with a dead end. I could drop off some cars here, pull my locomotive out. I can come back on the main line and go back that way. Or I can come here and go on the outside main line by using the switch and just take off down the main line that way. So now that we're attached all the way down there, I can sit here and plan a whole bunch, like a lot better. I can plan a lot better because I can actually see what I'm going to be working with. This here is 11-inch radius. I originally put that in here. I don't know if a big boy would be able to take 11-inch radius. I'll have to look into it. This may have to be changed one day if it can. Because one day I'm going to end up with a big boy N gauge from Kato. That's, you know, like I put a large radius in the corner here, it'll have no problem here. So, yeah. So I might have to bubble. Okay, here, let's go. We're moving on. Okay, get a better look at the river down there. I call this Redwood River. The only reason why is these trees I have in here are cut off and they're red. So redwoods are very tall trees, right? So once upon a time, there was a few redwoods here. They got cut down and the stumps were left. So this is Redwood River, and I'm going to be using a turquoise, Scenics turquoise dye to dye the epoxy I'm going to end up pouring in here. So that's going to be epoxyized, okay? Hey, this is all for me, right? I'm doing this for myself. So I come running my train down here. I can stand here, watch my train come through and look at the golf course. Wow, that's cool. Train's going by. Nice. Hey, the mansion, look at that. There's a couple of people over this weekend. Good. I can make my way over here. Oh, yeah, look at that beautiful river as the train's going by. Yeah, you know, like, you know, I have the ripples in there. I'll have ripples and everything. That's going to be pretty cool. You know, us modelers are kind of artists in a way. We create from our imagination or we recreate reality. Of course, I'm not recreating reality because I'm not that kind of person. Okay, so we're going to shoot you across. There's Jonathan's Bridge again. Here's a table with a lot of stuff on it. Now this here, from here, right from here on, that's 8 feet. Now, what I was planning to do, excuse me, there's 8 foot of table there. Now, what I was planning to do over here, what I was planning to do over here is I'll have the main line come and I want to extend that so I can put a 28-inch radius curves in there so a big boy can make it around the corner on a 28-inch radius. So I'll have to buckle out the table a little bit at that end for about 2 feet. And then after it goes in, comes back out and around, right? And then this is going to be my fiddle yard. I'm going to be having to get a whole bunch more switches, and I'm going to be putting lines in there so I can park my trains in there and go in and pick up and drop off trains as I will in the fiddle yard, right? The word fiddle yard is British. We call it, hell, I don't know what we call it. Is it a train yard? Rolling stock yard? I like the word fiddle yard because you go in there and fiddle around with the trains in order to get them to, right? Okay. So that's what's happening here. There's a turntable in the back here. In 2008, when I had my knees done, I was home for 4 months and I was bored. So I bought this kit. Never used it. I just finished renewing it. And I don't know, it's an Atlas roundhouse. It holds 6 cards. But you need an Atlas turntable to use it. I tried creating different ways of using it. You need an Atlas turntable, and it has the one bridge that goes and chooses each locomotive you want. Okay? That is on hold. I don't know if I want to do that. It's all about the bucks, guys. If it's too expensive to put a turntable in, I'm not going to do it. I may actually have to create my own turntable. You know what I'm saying? Make my own platform and track and some kind of pulley system on the side of the table to rotate the trains and still be able to go into the turntable. I might do that. I've heard some guys doing that. You know, not everything has to be store-bought. Not everything has to be store-bought. Okay, so 8-foot table. This is the fiddle yard, right? Rolling stock yard. Also, the main line will go around and in and out of it, obviously. So that's what's in store. So I'm going to need a lot of track. I'm going to turn you around one more time. Here's the back of the mountain here. There's a good shot of it. I'll have double track, right? So now I'm having problems with the trains derailing and doing weird shit. Weird stuff in here. So I may just replace all that track and possibly use it somewhere else. Now I'm a dummy. I soldered the track together. Now moving it is hell. I'm going to use the word hell. Moving it is hell. I already tried to take one little section apart back at that switch I showed you back there. And to do that to all these tracks, whoa, it's a lot of work to try to unsolder them. Then you got to heat them up and clean the ends off so you can reuse the ends. Oh, so what I might do is just disconnect it from the straight right here on both sides and just put in 2 new pieces of, I'm going to try to fit in 28-inch radius in there. These are 11. It may push the track a little further out and reduce the amount of straight track in the middle because it's obviously wider, a larger circle. So it might even work out to my advantage. Now, I can also put a switch. I can also put a switch back in here, a number 6 switch, a lefty. If I ever want to tie this track here and run it here and run it across to that section, looping the whole room, I could do that. That's in the works. That's not my top priority. My top priority is getting this track laid down on this whole scene. Now here's another thing. Some of you may have noticed this. I'm going to move you down here again. I like this bucket trick. I mean, you get shaken up, but at least you're not all over the place. Okay. So what's happening is I might go DCC. I may have mentioned that already. I was talking to the guy at our local hobby shop, great guy over there, very knowledgeable. As I was going out after I bought my products I bought there the other day, I looked at him and I said, hey, how much and how hard is it to install DCC? He says, well, first place, you're going to have to run DCC trains on it. And he explained to me how that works. And I went, oh, cool. For a little under $700, I can actually get a DCC controller. And I also, he also said you can, I said, how about power? Because I got a lot of track going down in here. And there's a booster you can buy that goes with that unit. And it's programmable. You know, some of these DCC units, you're holding the controller in your hand and you're punching in what you want. Well, this one's on a board and the handle for speed and everything is right there in front of you. That's what it looked like anyway. That's an intermediate system, a decent system for intermediate. The one where you held in your hands, they're really expensive. You probably end up running into $700s to set that up. There's a whole array of things you can do with this stuff. All I want is the basics. I want to be able to buy a DCC train, program the unit, and send it on its way. Now, the beautiful thing I like about DCC so far is you can run more than one train at the same time, even on the same track. So I found that appealing. So we're going to see, maybe in April, I might just go down there and commit myself to the DCC system and actually buy a locomotive to go with it. Now, on DCC, I'm told you can use DC trains, which is what I have, but you can only use one train at a time, just as if you were only having a DC system. Okay, so I said, okay, I understand. DC, only DC, one at a time. DCC can run as many as you want. I think the thing programs up to a couple of hundred trains. I don't know how you can put in the trains. I don't know how you'd run that many trains. You'd have to be a mastermind. But I used to fly RC, and I had a radio, and I can program 40 airplanes in it. So all it means is that you go into the radio and you go into select the plane you want, bring that up, and that's the controller, the radio control reads that plane. So you can go to the field flying model airplanes with 4 or 5 planes and have them on 4 or 5 different channels and take turns flying each plane with the same radio. Well, the DCC system is the same thing. Okay, you program the unit as many trains as you want in it. And then you can bring up each train and tell it what to do. And as you send the one train off, you can actually set up another train to do something different. That's why I'm putting in 2 lines here and a crossover to those. It can get quite crazy. And I'm an amateur at this. Imagine somebody who knows what they're doing. I mean, they have crossovers. Oh, I'm getting carried away. I was going to tell you, you probably noticed I have no trains going up a grade. Everything's flat. The reason why I don't have elevated, a 2% elevated track going up is because my experience with these trains being strong enough to pull cars on the flat, I just didn't see the sense of building an elevated line. Or maybe I'm talking for nothing and I got to look more into it. Because this long stretch is 27 feet. I wouldn't mind getting a 2-inch rise in the background, right? You know, come around the corner here and then slowly rise up to 2 inches and run that height. Then I can run, put scenery in front of that and use my second line to branch off to some more track. My goal here is basically to run as much track as I can. I made the bridge because I was able to at the time. The mountain, sorry, not the bridge. The river, I made it because I was bored. But it looks good, I like it, it's going to work. But raising the train to a different level from ground zero, I don't think it's worth me doing that. And if I were to do it, I would only have a 14-foot stretch. It would go up 2 inches and run and then come down before it hits that switch down there. I see no use to raise elevate the trains at this time. A lot of people do it because it adds interest. Most of the YouTubes I watch have elevated track. So right now, no, not me, maybe not. If I wanted to start elevating track, I would have to start on out in the middle of this diorama here, elevated so it comes around here. It'll be elevated, come around this corner, elevated, 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 and then start going down again, so it'll meet up with that switch down there. Maybe I can do that. And then at least I'll have that 3D effect. So I took the track apart again, long story made short, just so I could run my trains. When I decided to start building that section over there, I was in the middle of running my diesel. I still got to learn what they are. I don't know. That's not a D40. I think it's a GP40. A GP? Anyway, this is where I stopped when I was running it, because I'm going to get you all crazy. Because I stopped it there and I thought to myself, you know what? I want to get this foam installed today, and I want to get that bridge done over here. Bridge that section, which I did. So that's okay. But now I can plan. Right now I can see what I would like to do. Elevated area from here around, that'd be cool. You know, I can do that. Why not? It's all in the air, guys. This happens like, you know, at the end of the month I get a check, right? And this is how I do this, right? So I take a little portion of that check and I go out and I buy some of this stuff, right? And I'm lucky. My wife loves trinkets. So, you know, she bought me a slew of these cars. She also bought me a set of these cars, the headlights light up. It's really cool. I think she got 6 of them. And then I went out and got lamppost, you know, which I'll just set up around the mansion, the golf course. I'll set up some lampposts there to light up the area, and maybe a couple of lampposts on the outside of the track, giving the golfers a little bit of light. You know, they play until it starts to get late, so that'll shine some light on that. I want to get a dimmer switch though. I put diodes on them. Then the diodes are 125R. I ordered some. I blew one light trying to figure out what it was, because the lights I got came in with diodes. I didn't know what they were. They're all the same color except for those little rings around them. So I finally figured out. I blew one. Okay, you can't go straight 12 volt. So I started using different diodes, and I finally figured out it was a 125R. So I ordered a bunch of them. So any more lights and stuff will come with them in the kit, but at least I have extra if I want to do something or buy some lights other than modeling stuff, and I can throw them on the diorama. Yeah. I hope you like what I'm showing you. Thumbs up. Subscribe, please. I have 1 subscriber so far beside myself, so we're doing okay. You got to start somewhere. Take care. Have a good day. Play safe. This is Dano out.